Hello, it's Jutsu PvP time. So, is this relevant? Absolutely not. Am I gonna do it anyway? Absolutely yes. So Jutsu PvP, for those who don't know, is PvP in the mod here, Meteox mod, Meteox Naruto mod, which nobody plays anymore. It's not 2019 long grow up, but I was bored, so I'm gonna just make this video again because yes, I already done it. But it's private, and this one's probably gonna be private again. But maybe I can say some new shit. Can I? So yeah, let's go. Alright, so first thing we want to talk about is movement. Now you're already seeing me zooming around, but obviously that's not all that movement is. So first of all, let's talk about why movement is important. Well, besides the obvious, which is in every game, movement is very important in every game, but here specifically, that you do a lot of damage if you hit with melee. Now, obviously, nobody's ever gonna do this much damage because I kinda have very legal stats, but you can still do a lot of damage pretty easily, with melee at least. So, moving around, zooming about is very important because otherwise the fight is just gonna end in 1 second, and not only for you, for the opponent as well. Like, yes, it would be nice to just be able to walk up to the dude and kill him, but remember that he also can do that, and so that wouldn't be very fun. So instead, how Jutsu PvP works is you just move around and escape and run away. I know this may seem very boring, but I'll show you later why it's not. Anyway, movement, yes, as I said, this is Lariat. Use Lariat. It's very good. Now you're not gonna be able to spam it as much as me because I'm too cool. No, this has nothing to do with the stats. This is just we don't speak about it. But other things you can do are lightning mode. Lightning mode just makes you fast. Very good. Or wind mode or body flicker. Look, yes, but no, this is just too much. It's not controllable. Like, the reason why Lariat is good is because you can kind of control where you're going. Body flicker, you just yeet. It's not good. I mean, it's good to be fast, but not this fast, because then you can't even counterattack. You're just running at that point. Other things are obviously, you should always use Curse Mark and Sage Mode, which you can't even see because I have sunglasses. There you go. I still have sunglasses. Let me just... what is it? This. Sage Mode. I have Snake in here. Usually I would pick Toad, but this is still an old world. So you just turn everything on at the same time. This, what is it? Where the fuck? Yes. And now you're faced. And then you use Larry. And you go around. And you're faced. Also, if you can find something to jump, like I have, this is very legit. But if you can find something to jump high, like I am right now, definitely use that as well. It's gonna become very handy because 3-dimensional fighting is way better than just two-dimensional fighting, obviously. Or, well, 3-dimensional running is way better than 2-dimensional running. So definitely find something to be fast, find something that makes you jump high. There's plenty of jutsus you can look into. Find what you find yourself most comfortable with, and just know that the important part is to be fast, to run around, and be sure to not be hit by melee. Because melee is bad. Melee kills you instantly, and you don't want to be hit by that. Alright, so next we're gonna see how to actually kill people, because obviously if you're just running around, you're not gonna be able to do much damage to the opponent. You're gonna evade the damage that they're gonna do to you, but you're not gonna be able to hit them. So here you have two options. One is more boring, and also in many servers, and honestly, if you're gonna PvP, just don't do this. It's boring, it makes it just trash. But it's Genjutsu, like, for example, here I have Yamanaka. You just Genjutsu someone, and now they're stuck. Now he's moving, but that's because Yamanaka is weird. I don't know how it fully works. But anyway, they're gonna stand still, and then you just go in with melee and kill them. Now, that's one way to do it. And now he's fucking permanently stuck. Why have I done this? Alright, so Halid is dead. I had to delete him because fucking Yamanaka breaks everything. So now we have Sambulaman. Hello man, how are you doing? You're my test dummy today. Have fun. So anyway, next to the next point. So again, don't use genjutsus. You can agree with your opponent to not do that. They are boring. They make the fight boring. Like it's just gonna become running around until someone gets caught in a genjutsu of the opponent and then dies. It's fucking it's gross. Don't do that. So instead, what you should do, what you should agree with your opponent. Also, don't question my resource pack. It's amazing. What you should agree with your opponent to do is to just not use genjutsus and instead just use like set some rules. Obviously, you're not even gonna use whatever the fuck this shit is called, creation rebirth, because otherwise you're just immortal. So since you're setting up rules, just set up also the rule to not use genjutsus. But anyway, so how should you actually hit your opponent? Well, allow me to demonstrate. So hitboxes, right? Let's see, two jutsus. We have Flame Dragon and Ice Dragon. There are two dragons. I chose them purposely. But the point is that Flame Dragon does a lot of damage, as you can see there. That's like, what, 7 million? Yeah. While Ice Dragon does only 25 damage. So at first glance, you would think Flame Dragon is the better jutsu. I mean, more damage, kills easier. There you go. Now, yes, you would be correct, because again, shit ton of damage against 24, 25 damage. Very laggy. But look what happens when I look slightly to the left. Oh, I can't hit him anymore. No way. What happens if I use Ice Dragon? I can hit him now. Kill him again, because otherwise he's gonna spank my ass. But yeah, with Ice Dragon, even if I look here, yep, I still hit him. While instead, with Fire Dragon, if I look here, I would not hit him. Now, why is this important? Well, remember that the opponent is flying at Mach 10 every 2 seconds, so it's not gonna be easy to hit them. At least with Flame Dragon. While instead with Ice Dragon, well, it's still kinda hard. You're gonna do a way better job at hitting them. Now, what does this mean? This means that you need to find jutsus that you don't want to care too much about damage, but instead you want to care about how easy it is to hit people that are moving really fast with them. Because I'm telling you, you're never gonna hit anybody with Fire Dragon. I've fought so many people, they tried to use it against me, it did not work. Also because if you're extremely cool, and this is a point that will come up later, if someone shoots a Fire Dragon at you, and then you use Come Release Semen Tornado, which is definitely the name of this jutsu, you can deflect it. And now I got on fire. I am a genius. But yeah, you can deflect the Fire Dragon, and so it's not even gonna hit you at all. Like, you just have a shield around you made with explosions. This is because, obviously, as you can see, Fire Dragon is an enemy. It has a hitbox, so it can be deflected by explosions. So essentially, you want to find jutsus that are easy to hit your opponent with. Like again, Ice Dragon is a very good one. great semen ejaculation, which is great fire annihilation in normie terms. What does this do? This just does this. It's an all-around AoE jutsu near you, so you need to be near the opponent to actually hit them. Then other good stuff is Boil. How the fuck is that one called? Skilled Miss. Skilled Wrist, I think. Yep, there we go. Skilled Wrist, which is obviously Skilled Mist, which creates a cloud, and whoever goes in the cloud just gets poisoned and burned and all of the good stuff. And also, yeah, another thing to mention, poison and fire are very good because you're gonna have a high defense, especially if you use Susanoo. Don't use Susanoo, but if you are gonna use Susanoo, use fire and use poison because they bypass protection essentially. You're going through their defenses. Even though they don't do that much damage, it's still a lot compared to like hitting them with something that does 1 damage all the time. Essentially everything is gonna do 1 damage, so might as well do 1 damage continuously instead of constantly trying to hit them and wasting chakra in the process. But anyway, yeah, Skilled Wrist, Semen Tornado is also good. This is called character buying, by the way. Don't worry about the weird names, the weird texture that you see. Everything is normal. And also, Nerf is very good as well. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to get this one unless you do the Easter event. But it hits like... Also, yeah, as you can see, it slows down, hits like everywhere. It's so fucking... Look at this. I'm aiming there and I'm hitting. It's so good. But, yeah. These kind of jutsus are the ones you want to use, essentially. You're just gonna wanna run around. This is not there yet. You're gonna wanna run around, spam the jutsus, and run around some more, and spam the jutsus, and hit them with this. Now I don't have the hot burst set up, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you run around, spam the jutsus, run around, spam the jutsus. That's kind of what jutsu PvP is, except for one jutsu, which we'll see now. Alright, so about everything I just told you with Fire Annihilation, Nerf, etc. Yeah, scratch all of it. Well, don't actually, because it's still very useful, but scratch all of that, because there's one thing that is really gonna make the difference between you winning and losing a fight, and that is Cam release impregnating Cam Flare. Of course it is. What else could it be? But yeah, no, it's fucking incinerating Flare. It's Scourge, man. This jutsu is very OP. Allow me to demonstrate. Now, let me go kind of far away from our poor Sambulaman. Let's do it here. Also, where is it? Am I inside of it? Yeah, okay. Also, as you can see, I look down and it's making it stay still. That's very useful. I'll show you why later. But, yeah. This is what this jutsu does. It's big explosion, and it does a lot of damage too. It does like 300 damage or something, I think, if you're really close to it. Obviously it's an explosion, so it depends on where you are. But it does a lot of damage. That's the main takeaway of it. And also it hits everywhere. It's a nuke, basically. You're just sending a nuke to your opponent. Now, if you paid attention, you can obviously tell why this is very OP. Like, imagine you're running around, and it doesn't even matter because you just have a nuke on you. Now, luckily, this doesn't do too much damage, and it doesn't hit immediately. As you can see, I had to wait like, what, 10 seconds before it actually could hit. So you can do things about it, like you can run a bit away and all that, but that's not really what you should do. What you should do instead is, again, turn on hitboxes. And also, I didn't look down, so now it's moving. And notice that this one has a hitbox too. How curious. Yes, you can indeed deflect it. Now, I've done a terrible job at this, because I'm using Seaman Tornado. But if I do this, and then I wait a little, and then I do this, and then I go a bit away, look at what's gonna happen to that one. It's going away! It's gone! Now what does this mean? Imagine the one that went away was your opponent's, and the one that exploded was yours. What does this mean? Well, this means that you are the only motherfucker who did damage. And this is so important. Because obviously, again, yes, you can still do damage with Fire Annihilation, with the Nerf, with Ice Dragon and whatnot. But the damage that all of these combined do against the damage of one Scorch, it's practically meaningless. Like, yes, it's still good, don't get me wrong. If it wasn't for Scorch, it would still be very decent damage and you would be able to kill the opponent. But Scorch is where the real damage is at. So essentially, what you want to try to do is you want to try to get Scorch priority, like I call it, which is essentially means you need to be the first one to use Scorch Jutsu. So if you're the first one to use Scorch Jutsu, and then your opponent is even a little bit late, watch what happens. And bam. Holy shit, the lag. But yeah, it's going away and it's not gonna do you any damage. You're the only one who's gonna do damage with Scorch at least, and the opponent can hit you with other stuff. And so basically you win the fight. Now obviously it takes a lot of practice to actually do, and it's not as straightforward. But once you get it down, you basically win every fight. Once you know this, you win every fight. Well, obviously once you know this and you practice it, you basically win every fight if your opponent doesn't know it or if your opponent is weaker than you. So this is basically how Joso PvP works. It's actually very interesting for being such a fucking random ass mod. And it's actually fairly balanced, weirdly enough. Like, again, as I mentioned before, right, the jutsus that have a big hitbox are actually the ones that do the least damage. It's weirdly balanced. I don't think it was on purpose. Because, I mean, the man is dead. The owner of the mod is dead, and he made some random ass mod and then left. So I don't think it's on purpose, but it actually worked out pretty well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Learn how to do Scorch, learn how to run around, learn how to use these jutsu, and you basically got it. Bye.